Special day for honor recipients. 2017 Governor's Public Service Recognition Ceremony. I'm going to be your MC. I'm Randy Gammon. So we get started. I'd like you to please welcome Madam Secretary Gail Manchin to the podium.
Good afternoon. It is certainly my honor as Cabinet Secretary of Education and the Arts to welcome each of you here today for the Public Service Awards ceremony. You know, this is the Governor's Week to honor the employees here at the state of West Virginia. But today, I think, is a perfect opportunity for each one of us individually to reflect on what that means. You are the face of West Virginia. What you do every day is reflected in our grounds, in our building, in our offices, for the people for whom we work and serve. And so people coming in from around the state, from other states, and from other countries see the results of what you do every day. For those of you that chose public service as a lifetime career, knowing that it was not the road to wealth and riches, but it was a way of serving the state that you love and the people that you love. And so we are a family today celebrating service. And it is just my pleasure to be the first one to say thank you.
Well, thank you, Secretary Manchin, and we are indeed a family, and we're going to meet the family here in just a few minutes. I'd like to ask you now to please rise for the singing of our national anthem and the presentation of colors. Our anthem by the Governor's School of Arts students Jill Manus and Jane Ann Stockton, and the presentation of colors by Capitol High School Junior ROTC students Kelsey Payne, Shalala Dixon, Michelle Michael, and Sydney Jones. Virginia Evans from DHHR and Judith Spalding from the DMV, both 50-year honorees this afternoon here in the state, will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Right face, forward march.
You may be seated.
Colors, hold.
Thank you. Beautiful addition, our anthem. Well, it's now my honor to introduce a distinguished gentleman who is a firm believer in hard work and dedication, especially in public service. Please welcome our governor, Governor Jim Justice.
Sit down too. All right, I'm going to sit right here, okay? Because I think I can talk to you better this way. First of all, I'm flattered to be here and amazed. Now, what am I amazed with? Let's be real. A bunch of y'all have been here 25 years, 30 years, even somebody's been here 50 years, or somebody's. You must have really started your jobs with government when you were either in the crib or just 1 or 2 or 3 years old. The reason I say that is just this. I've been at this now for 3 or 4 months. How have you survived this? Honest to goodness, you look so young. I mean, really, you must have started awfully, awfully early in life. And I always say that teasingly. You know, for these wonderful cabinet members, for you, the bottom line is just this. Service is really special. And that's what you've chosen to do. And along the way, you have truly affected lives, haven't you? Over and over and over. A lot of times when you didn't even know it. And a lot of times when you could have sought employment at much higher wages, you decided to serve. And for that, you should be commended by all of us forevermore. Because you've done something really special and you've touched lives. I'm a basketball coach. And you know what? The most special thing in the world for me to be able to do is maybe have a little bit of an impact on a child. Well, think about what you do, and think about what you do every day. Every single day, you make some spot a little brighter for somebody, and a lot of times, it's even an enormous amount of somebody's. I can never, ever thank you enough because you have sacrificed in many ways. I wish to goodness tomorrow, every single last one of you, and I'll fight for you till the cows come home, for things to be better in your life from the standpoint of wages or benefits or the stress or whatever it may be. Because I truly believe that you are great at what you do. Now, there's no question there's a bad egg or two right here in this group. But at the same time, there's bad eggs in my life. There's bad eggs over here. But overwhelmingly, the job you do is commendable in every way. Now, let me just touch on one other thing real quick. And it's just this, is out of the clear blue sky became Jim Justice is running for governor. And you may say, why? And I become you then, don't I? I become a servant, a public servant. I don't become royalty. I'm not expected to be treated like royalty. And in all honesty, neither are you, nor neither are our House members, or neither are our Senate, neither are our cabinet, neither are any of us. We decided to do something with our lives, and that was to serve. Now, many of you can't do this, but I could. I could say, I don't want a dime. And I am unique in this that I don't want anything. I don't need credit, I don't need ego, I don't need anything, status, access, nothing. Now, in all honesty, a lot of politicians can't really say that because a lot of politicians are wanting something. Well, I don't want anything. But here's what I'd like you to have today. I'd really like you to have two things. I'd like you to be able to really understand where we are with this budget and what we're really doing. Because I think this escapes the news media, and I'll be very quick on this. You see, at the end of the day, you can't trade on a proposal if you forget where you came from and what you got. And what I'm trying to say to you, and I'm very poor at articulating this, but I want you to understand. You can't evaluate what is being proposed if you forget what was the proposal or what was the condition. What was the proposal was to cut you and everybody to the bone, to annihilate this state. What was the proposal was a $500 million hole in the bucket and nowhere to turn. Cut DHHR, cut higher ed, cut K through 12, take money out of rainy day, and go nowhere. Nowhere. No more jobs, no more nothing. Now that's what is the proposal, not what the proposal is to be. That's what you got. Now some way, somehow, our media misses that. And they report on, well, you know, here's what's going to happen if we do this, and here's what's going to happen if we do that. And then you had the most bizarre thing in the history of the balloon universe. And it just happened. The most childish and the most bizarre thing that I could ever imagine. You had the Senate with 100% of the Senate Republicans vote for a proposal, and it went to the House and they didn't even read it. And they just peed right in the face of the Senate and everybody just to be able to do it. And they said 100% of the House 100% of the House Republicans said no. Now, when have you ever had a situation in the world like that, where 100% of the Republicans on one side say yes, and 100% of the Republicans on the other side say no? Like I said, I don't know how in the world you could look how you look and be so young and have worked in government so long. I don't know how you survived it. Now, I would tell you just this, that I am working as hard as I can to make your life better, to make your life secure, to lower the amount of stress on you. I said I wanted to do two things. The first thing I wanted to explain to you just the simple fact would quit being preoccupied about what the proposal is without being occupied at least with what the proposal that is really on the table that you really got. Don't forget who brung you to the dance. And I'm not saying me, but don't forget that you were a child that hadn't been fed in 5 weeks and you were starving to death, and now here's a platter out in front of you and somebody's telling you you're not going to be fed, And here's the platter in front of you, and you say, you know, I don't really like that lettuce on the platter. That's no way to be. It's no way to be. Now, the other thing I want to do is tell you just this. I wish I could just stay with you and hug you and take pictures with you and congratulate you all and everything, but we have a catastrophe that's fixing to happen, and I'm trying to stop it. And I'm going right now to meet with the Senate President and other senators, and I'm trying my blooming heart out to make things good for all of us and to put West Virginia on a pathway like we have never had before. Never. Never. You know, there was an article written by one of the journalists, and imagine this one. It said, we don't want all these road jobs because there's going to be so many jobs that we won't be able to fill all those jobs with people in West Virginia. And what will happen is we'll have to go out of state to have people come in here and work. Now, how can you, I mean, where does that come from? I mean, really? We're going to have so many jobs that we're going to run out of West Virginians and have to bring some people in here from out of state. Who cares? Versus have no jobs and have West Virginians leaving? You know, it's silliness in my book. The second thing I wanted to do is just this. I wanted to tell you the state of the state. And the other thing is I want to tell you again as I let off. You are heroes. You have sacrificed for your family, and you have done the most noble thing of all. You have become a public servant. And for that, you should be congratulated and hugged and your pictures taken over and over and over. I congratulate every last one of you for all you've done for all of us forevermore. And I encourage you just this, some way, somehow, and I'd say it in terms of the old West Virginian terms, is by God, I'm going to make it better for you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you for becoming a public servant, Governor, and also thank you for the work you're doing. You mentioned we're going to take some photos, and we're going to do that right now. It's my honor to present the names of this year's Public Service honorees. Those individuals in the 30 years of service category, please rise. The ushers will guide you to the stage for recognition. We have all the 30-year recipients over here on this side. I'm going to call your name. You're going to come across the stage. And our first group of recipients have their photo with Commissioner Roswell. We're ready to get started. From the Bureau of Senior Services, Robin R. Strickland. It's okay to applaud. She's been with us 30 years. Our next group will have their photo with Chancellor Tucker. We'll start with the Community and Technical College System of West Virginia. Bridgeview Valley Community and Technical College, Michael Ditchin. Mount West Community and Technical College, Billy K. Brooks. Southern West Virginia Community and Technical College, Debbie Dingus. All right, our next group will have their photo with Secretary Myers. We'll start from the Department of Administration, the Office of Technology, Robin L. Moss. Carlos Nicusi. Our next recipient will have his photo taken with the Chief of Staff from the Department of Agriculture, Norm Bailey. He works for the Department of Agriculture. It's Gregory Cook. And our next group will have their photo with Secretary Thrasher from the Department of Commerce. From the Division of Forestry, Linda O. Carnell. From the Division of Labor, Paula A. Parsons. Also with the Division of Labor, John A. Pullis, Jr. From the Division of Natural Resources, Tammy L. Mansfield. Tammy. Next, Workforce, West Virginia, Tammy L. Cougar. Okay. Daniel R. Kimball. Also from Workforce, West Virginia, Kimberly D. Walton. Okay, next group will have their photo with Superintendent Payne from the Department of Education, Gloria K. Burdette. Followed by Angela Renee Clark. Well, in that case, our next group will have their photo with Secretary Caperton from the Department of Environmental Protection, Sandra K. Duncan. Stephanie E. Hammonds. David W. Long. Our next group of recipients, their photo will be made with Secretary Crouch from the Department of Health and Human Resources. First off, Administration and Finance, Martha A. Gibson, better known as Marty. The West Virginia Department of Transportation, too. Public service. The Bureau for Behavioral Health and Health Facilities, Ruth P. Brown. The Bureau for Child Support and Enforcement, David S. Alter II. The Bureau for Children and Family, Patricia Mullins. Bureau for Public Health, Daniel Christie. Wanda F. Nipple. Teresa E. Taylor. From the Office of Inspector General, Cheryl A. Henson. Our next two groups will have their photo with Secretary Hardy. From the Department of Military Affairs and Public Safety, State Police, Michelle D. Hebb. From the West Virginia Military Authority, Franklin L. Rhodes. From the Department of Revenue, Office of Insurance Commissioner, Ina M. Hayes. Followed by Robin L. Simmons. From the State Tax Department, Thomas B. Flanagan. Followed by Kathy A. Mills. From the West Virginia Lottery, Kenneth H. Leishon. Okay, our next group will have their photo with Secretary Tom Smith from the Department of Transportation. We'll start with the Division of Highways, Terry J. Bosley. Next is Joseph H. Coates. Laura A. Conley Reinhardt. John B. Griffin. Craig Helmick. Dennis E. Heavener. David W. Jenkins. Barry A. Nuts. Dennis J. Leroy. Rita A. Polly. Kevin C. Reynolds. Gary L. Stickley. Christopher L. Taylor. James R. Wade. Jeffrey S. Willis. Moving on to the Division of Motor Vehicles as we shift gears. Danny R. Garbutt. He's with the West Virginia Parkways Authority, Farron M. World. Okay, our next group will have their photo with Chancellor Hill from the Higher Education Policy Commission. We'll start with Glenville State College, Dennis J. Wim. From Marshall University, Barry A. Beckett. Donald L. Hall. Leonard L. Lovely. Larry K. Morris. John D. Richardson. Now from the West Virginia Network, Vern Britton. Followed by Yvonne Houterscheltz. Okay, our next few groups will have their photo with Secretary Manchin. We'll start with the Joint Committee on Government and Finance, Sheila B. Harvey. From the Office of Secretary of Education and the Arts, James E. Simmons from Culture and History. Division of Rehabilitation Services, John Sayas. From the Public Service Commission, Leona F. Hancock. And from the Secretary of State's office, first is Mary J. Cooper. From the West Virginia Enterprise Resource Planning Board, it's Daniel E. Miller. R. Thompson. Secretary Senior. From the West Virginia State Auditor's Office, Frederick Hess. The West Virginia School of Osteopathic, James W. Nimitz. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, nice round of applause for our 30-year honorees. That's right, everyone does look young here. Now the 35-year honorees, if you'll please rise. The ushers will get you out in the aisleway. We'll start with our next group. Will have their photo with Commissioner Roswell. From the Bureau of Senior Services, Ray B. Woods, Jr. Our next recipient will have their photo with Chancellor Tucker. From the Community and Technical College System of West Virginia, Southern West Virginia Community and Technical College employee Martha Page. Our next two recipients will have their photo with Secretary Myers from the Department of Administration. From the Consolidated Public Retirement Board, I guess that we're all looking forward to that, John J. Beam. And many of us are getting close to that, right, John? Followed by John Gibson. Our next recipient will have the photo with Secretary Myers. From the Department of Agriculture, Chief of Staff Norm Bailey, it's Bertie A. Wood. Okay, our next group, their photo is going to be with Secretary Thrasher from the Department of Commerce. We'll start with the Division of Labor, Steve E. McLean. And Workforce, West Virginia, Joseph E. Sabers. Our next recipient, their photo is going to be with Superintendent Payne from the Department of Education, Marlene A. Price. Following two recipients will have their photo with Secretary Caperton, again from the Department of Environmental Protection, Tanya R. Phillips. Followed by Mary M. Sturry. Now let's Secretary Crouch back to the front and center from the Department of Health and Human Resources, from the Bureau for Children and Family, Ann V. Hubbard. Not with us, okay. In that case, Secretary Crouch, false alarm. Because our next two groups will have their photo with Secretary Hardy. So start with the Department of Military Affairs and Public Safety from the State Police, Kelly D. Carson. From the Department of Revenue, Office of the Insurance Commissioner, Dina L. Wildman. All right, State Budget Office, Mike McCowan. From the State Tax Department, Kendra Jean Guy. Next, recipients of their certificate will have their photo with Secretary Smith from the Department of Transportation. We'll start with the Division of Highways, Raymond R. Bird. Jennings B. Hedrick. Amici L. Watson. From the Division of Motor Vehicles, Linda S. Cruikshank. From our Parkways Authority, John A. Rummage. Followed by Carolina J. Thomas. Okay, we'll switch out secretaries. We're going to have our next group, their photo will be with Chancellor Paul Hill from the Higher Education Policy Commission. From Bluefield State College, Sheila D. Johnson. From Glenville State College, Deborah L. Starcher Johnson. West Virginia University, Donna J. Buckhalter. Elizabeth M. Hunt. Our next two groups will have their photo with Secretary Manchin. From the Office of Secretary of Education and the Arts, we'll start with the Division of Culture and History, Elaine M. Britt. And Mark W. Lynch. He's with the West Virginia State Treasurer's Office, Johnny E. Withrow. Well, that concludes our 35-year recipients. How about a nice round of applause? 35 By now you've caught on to the routine. We're going to go to the 40-year honorees. If you'll please stand, the ushers will guide you to the stage. Our next group will have their photo with Secretary Thrasher from the Department of Commerce. We'll start with the Development Office, James A. Mosby. Division of Natural Resources, Mary E. Snyder. Followed by Tammy E. Thompson. From Workforce, West Virginia, Carolyn D. Miller. The next recipient will have the photo with Superintendent Payne from the Department of Education, Virginia M. Harris. Our next group of recipients will have their photo with Secretary Tom Smith from the Department of Transportation. Harry L. Bergstrom. From the Division of Highways, Jeffrey Wayne Lanham. Okay, our next group will have their photo with Chancellor Paul Hill, again from the Higher Education Policy Commission. We'll start with Bluefield State College, Roger H. Owensby. And West Virginia State University, Ori Banks. All right, our next group will have their photo with Secretary Manchin, again from the Office of Secretary of Education and the Arts. And we'll start with the West Virginia Library Commission, Donna B. Calvert. Actually, we'll start and end with Donna B. Calvert because that concludes our 40-year honorees. Nice round of applause for them. For the 45-year honorees, please stand. Turn your attention to the ushers. Our group photo is going to be with Secretary Crouch from the Department of Health and Human Resources. The Bureau for Public Health, William S. Harold. Next recipients will have their photo with Chancellor Hill from the Higher Education Policy Commission. Bluefield State College, Farida A. Ratliff. From Marshall University, Joe W. Wortham. And one more 45-year recipient will have her photo with the Secretary of Education, Secretary Manchin again. She's with the West Virginia Library Commission, Karen E. Goff. And now having served 50 years being a government employee, serving the public, the honorees, please stand, make your way to the aisle. The ushers will get you to the stage. We're going to start with our next group. Actually, it's not a group, it's one person. Have their picture taken with Secretary Crouch. From the Department of Health and Human Resources, the Bureau for Medical Services, Virginia R. Evans. next group will have their photo with Secretary Tom Smith from the Department of Transportation. We'll start with the Division of Highways. Dennis R. Alderson, Jr. The last recipient, who served 50 years, is with the Division of Motor Vehicles, Judith A. Spalding. I want to thank all the honorees and our secretaries for the photos this afternoon. Once again, let's give everyone a nice round of applause for their dedication. Okay, Secretary Manchin, why don't you offer that? That's a nice.
Now, this has been a wonderful ceremony. I just wanted to offer a very special thank you of appreciation to the Cabinet and agencies of education and the arts who are responsible today for putting together this program, also for the reception following out in the main hall. So a big thank you to their staff.
The committee put this together, a lot of hard work. As she mentioned, this concludes today's ceremony, and we want to thank everyone for attending, and again, for all that hard work and effort. The reception starts now in the Great Hall. Thank you for coming. Have a great day.